Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. I've got a quick gardening tip I want to share with you today, and it has to do with protecting your newly direct seeded plants, transplants that you bring out into the garden. So what we have here is commonly referred to as a low tunnel. Pretty obvious why they call it that. It's lower to the ground than a traditional hoop house, yet still has a very similar effect in that it can protect your plants from cold weather, frost, even freezing temperatures. So last night I was out here installing some of my cilantro seedlings that I started from seed not too long ago. And the last thing I wanted to see happen was to come out the following day to see my crop devastated by insects, wildlife like birds. So I opted to protect it with a little bit of row cover over these hooped pieces of bamboo. So here are the bamboo stakes that I utilized for this project. These are 6 feet long and they're not too thick. If they're too thick, they're not going to bend very easily and could even snap. But these bamboo stakes are a valuable asset for the garden. They can be picked up cheaply, between $1 and $2 usually. You can find them at your big box store, you can get them online. And besides building quick little low tunnels with them, you can create trellises, plant supports. They're really quite versatile. Now there are definitely other materials that you can use in place of the bamboo if you have them available to you. Some small diameter willow branches or fruitless mulberry branches would do the trick. So I opted to just put some lightweight floating row cover over the top rather than some greenhouse plastic, which you could just as easily install. The floating row cover should give you protection down to 28 degrees Fahrenheit or -2 degrees Celsius. The plastic is going to offer you a bit more protection, but it also heats up a whole lot more during the day if you got sunshine. So you're going to want to monitor it. Anytime it gets over about 55 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to want to lift some of that plastic up off of your plants so that it doesn't bake under there. The floating row cover is really nice because it's breathable. So if you're to that point in your season where you're still looking to get a jump start, but perhaps you have frost or the potential for some freezing temperatures to come in, row cover could be exactly what you need. I like to buy mine in bulk, but you can get it in smaller sections as well. And what's great about this material is not only does the sunlight penetrate through so your plants get the appropriate amount of photosynthesis to continue to grow up, but you could actually water through this material as well. Anyways, you can easily set up something like this in under 5 minutes. I'll show you how you can put it together. So if your ground is rock hard, you're going to need to loosen up the soil a bit so that you can insert the stake. But all you're going to do is push one end in just a few inches, and then slowly you're going to bend it over. Take your time so that you don't snap it. And when you feel like you can't bend anymore, find an entry point on the other side and stick it in. And there you have a nice little hoop. You just do this 4 or 5 times, cover it up with some row cover or some plastic, and you're ready to grow. You can easily secure the cover down with water jugs. They've even got some gourds over here, some smooth pond rocks, what have you. And the last thing I did after I plugged in my plants was I sprinkled a bit of this 𝗙𝗏+ around my planting. This is an OMRI listed organic control that's primarily made of iron phosphate. This is going to protect your newly planted crops from things like earwigs, also known as pincher bugs, slugs, snails, pill bugs, commonly referred to as roly-polies. So the combination of the row cover protected my crops along with the 𝗙𝗏+, and I can all but guarantee that I'm going to see these plants to maturity and reap a beautiful harvest of some delicious cilantro. And by the way, you can use this row cover to protect all sorts of crops and hang it up in all different ways. Here I've got a cattle panel trellis where I've got some snap peas growing up at the base, and they're doing absolutely wonderful underneath the row cover. Mainly I'm putting this here to protect these from the birds. If you're doing direct seeding, you can literally just lay down the row cover right over your crop. No need to put a hoop over it. You can even do so with more mature plants. I mean, this stuff is so lightweight that the plant just pushes it up as it grows. I do prefer the hoop, however, if I'm putting new transplants out. Just providing them with a little bit of headspace is a good thing. Here's another example of some pole beans that I recently transplanted at the base of my tomato trellis, and I'll show you. Things are looking great. No damage whatsoever from the birds. In fact, as this material kind of flops around in the wind, it also kind of scares off the birds from wanting to come around here. Well, my friends, that's going to conclude today's video, sharing with you a very quick and easy way that you can build your own low tunnel and protect some of your newly seeded crops and transplants so that you have the greatest success in your garden this year. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Until next time, this is Dan from PlantAbundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.